Okay, welcome everyone to the deep dive. So, think about a job market like India's huge, incredibly dynamic, right? But it often has these pretty big hurdles, especially for smaller businesses trying to hire, or maybe, new grads or people in rural areas looking for work. Today, we're diving into a really interesting part of that digital world, a platform called freejobs.in. We've got some great source material excerpts from its description that give us a really clear look at what it's about. And our mission, basically, to figure out what makes freejobs.in tick. Who's it for? And what does it tell us about online recruitment, especially in India? You might be thinking, why should you care about a free job platform? Well, because sometimes it's the simplest ideas that have the biggest impact. So let's start right there. The basic question. Looking at our sources, what is freejobs.in really? What makes it different in that, very crowded Indian job market?
Yeah, what really stands out, I think, is its core idea. It's an Indian online job platform, okay, but here's the kicker. It lets employers post job listings completely free.
Hmm.
And it seems specifically aimed at startups, SMEs, small and medium enterprises and recruiters too, posting jobs totally free.
Well, yeah,
That's a big deal compared to how things usually work.
that really is a potential game changer, right?
Yeah.
So this free aspect, it sounds amazing, especially for, like you said, businesses watching their budget. But thinking longer term, how does something like freejobs.in actually, keep the lights on? Does our material hint at how they make money or maybe what the plan is for keeping those posts free?
Right. That's always the big question with free services, isn't it? The sources we looked at, they don't spell out the revenue model exactly, which actually kind of backs up their main promise, the whole 100% free job postings for employers with no hidden fees. It looks like the focus right now anyway is just getting rid of those initial barriers, build the user base, get lots of people using it. The idea probably is that opportunities for making money will come later. Maybe through data insights or perhaps premium features for job seekers, like making their profiles stand out more, or maybe targeted ads. It really feels like a grow first, monetize later strategy, making sure that core thing free posts for employers stays solid.
Okay, yeah, build that critical mass. That makes sense. And you mentioned accessibility earlier. So drilling down on that beyond just the employers, who else is free jobs in really trying to reach? What groups are they focusing on? And why is being free so important for them?
Well, the platform seems to be aiming for really broad accessibility and inclusivity. It specifically calls out fresh graduates and also people in rural regions. Think about it. For new grads, often short on cash and maybe experience, a free platform just removes a huge stressor in the job hunt, right? They can look at tons of jobs without worrying about fees. And for people in rural areas, well, it helps overcome geography. It bridges that digital gap you often see with paid platforms, opens doors to jobs they might never even see otherwise. It really feels like a tool to democratize the job market access.
Democratizing access, I like that framing. It's powerful. So, okay, it's free, it's accessible. What about the types of jobs? The sources mention wide industry coverage. Can you give us a feel for what kind of roles someone might actually find there? Is it diverse?
Oh, definitely. The examples in the source material are quite telling, actually. They show real breadth. For example, there's a listing for a sales representative, full-time, but it also mentions flexible hours and get this on-the-job training in 3D printing, which is interesting, right?
3D printing, wow, okay, specific.
Exactly. Then there's another one, an international client relationship specialist, also full-time, but specifically in the marine sector. So quite niche, potentially global reach.
Yeah.
We also saw things like an HR recruiter intern, specifically mentioning male candidates needed, focused on HR docs and reporting, and even an admission counselor, again full-time, tasked with lead generation and outreach for students. So yeah, it's not just generic stuff. It covers specific skills and industries.
Wow, that really is an impressive range from, like you said, niche marine roles to tech-adjacent training like 3D printing. It really shows how varied the opportunities are. It makes you wonder if platforms like this aren't just filling jobs, but maybe kind of shaping the workforce by getting these roles in front of more people. So pulling this all together then, the free model, the wide coverage, these specific job examples, what's the bottom line for you, the listener? Whether you're maybe an employer struggling with hiring costs or a job seeker trying to navigate things?
Yeah, I think it boils down to this. Freejobs.in is really about knocking down those financial walls, both for hiring and for finding work. It pushes opportunities out across lots of different sectors. And it's clearly focused on helping specific groups, startups, SMEs, new graduates, people in rural areas. It's basically acting as this powerful lever for democratizing access to India's job market. And it seems to be doing that by focusing on being super usable and growing its reach rather than charging employers right out of the gate.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap our deep dive. FreeJobs.in emerges as this kind of pioneering zero-cost job platform. It's clearly built for wide accessibility and aiming for real impact in India's, well, incredibly diverse job market. And it's tackling some of those key barriers we talked about right at the start.
Exactly. And if we zoom out a bit,